Hi everyone and welcome. I'm Diane and my passion is painting and creating nature-inspired watercolours in my studio, which are easy for you to do too. I share all my paintings with you on YouTube, and on our website dianeantone.com you can find free downloadable sketches for all the videos to help you make the most of your painting journey. And if you'd like a little bit more, we also have channel memberships with loads of perks for you to enjoy. So welcome on board. Click subscribe and turn on notifications, and let's learn to paint watercolour. Hi everyone, welcome to my studio. Diane here and hope everyone's well. Today I'm going to paint some poppies. It's not poppy season at the moment, but it will be at some point soon. And I think a little bit of colour in our lives is probably what I need right about now. So of course, first thing we have to think about is what kind of style we're going to paint in, as well as the colours and everything else that we need to consider. And I've decided to do some loose poppies today, which is my preferred style, and they're most relaxing, so I think that's the way we'll go. We're going to do something a bit like this. This was my practice painting yesterday, which I've done on a piece of Bao paper. Not my favourite, but good for trying things out. It's this size is about 8 by 6, just under 6. So I'll be painting on A4 size today, which is about 8 by 10, a little bit bigger, just to give myself a little bit more breathing space. Now, I think what I'll do is I'll start off by talking about the colours, and then a quick thing about how to draw a poppy in a loose way. First of all, the colours, yes. So obviously poppies come in different colours, but the traditional poppy is of course red. So I've been looking at my selection of reds that I've got in my palette. These are various different shades of red. First of all, are we going to paint them in a bluish red like this, or are we going to paint them in an orangey red like that? Well, I've decided to opt today for the orangey red, and just so that you know, if you are, well, I'm thinking I always have a limited palette, always only have 3 or 4 colours, and I'm just going to show you these 4 options. Okay, so I'm going to just write down poppy palette here, because I do this nowadays. I do this every time I start painting. I try out my colours, and I've got here, this is cadmium red, which is, I think, probably going to be the one that most people have. Cadmium red is a nice bright red, and of course the complement of red is green, so you'll be doing some greenish kind of leaves and buds, not leaves, I'm not going to do leaves, I'm going to do buds. So that's cadmium red, and this is Old Holland bright red, which I think is a very good poppy colour. I don't know, what do you think about that? And then this one is Windsor red, which is a bit bluer, and you might want to incorporate that. Could use a couple of these reds quite happily. And this one is Scarlet Lake. Now Scarlet Lake is a slightly more old-fashioned colour, but you probably would need to buy a tube of that if you were going to use Scarlet Lake. I don't think it comes in sets these days, but it is a very good colour for painting flowers. So that's Scarlet Lake. So I should write that down. I should write down that this is cadmium red, this is Old Holland bright red, this is Windsor red, and this is Scarlet Lake. So those are my choices, and I'm leaning in the direction of Scarlet Lake for these poppies. So I'm going to remove those 3. And if I want to put a little bit of shadow on some of the reds, I might use a more bluish red, and that is alizarin crimson, which is obviously a darker tone. And you could paint the whole thing if you wanted and you didn't have any other options. This is Permanent Rose, which is also a nice colour. You can have pink poppies, Permanent Rose. So I'm just going to put those to one side. I might not use them, I might use them. And then for the stems and any leaves that you might want to put in or buds, use a green, any green will do, really. This is Hooker's Green. This is slightly more blue than sap green, which you could also use. Then you need a yellow, and my favourite is Quinacridone Gold, which makes nice combinations with all greens. And then we need some black, of course, because the centres of the poppies are black. So we're going to choose Scarlet Lake, a green, this is Hooker's Green, this is Quinacridone Gold, and this is any black. So we have that one, that one, that one, and that one. So 4 colours for this painting. Now, I just wanted to show you how black can be so interestingly mixed with gold and green. So that's just black. We're just going to paint that black. Just paint a little square like that. And how black's so dull, isn't it? But then put it next to Quinacridone Gold, and then pop a little bit of green along the top, and just let it blend. And you'll see you get all sorts of nice mixes like this. So that's much more appealing to me anyway than just one colour. It's nice to have a real mix on your paper so that your painting can be loose. Okay, so now I need to just show you how to sketch a poppy. So I need to find a piece of paper that I can work on. Here's a drawing I did earlier, and for this particular painting you don't need to be too particular about the poppy, but poppies have 4 petals. They tend to be frilly around the edges. They tend to curve, and they tend to overlap. So, and at the bottom here you have a characteristic slope. So you just want to do something like that, and then in the middle it's dark, and then the stem usually curves, although a lot of people stylize their poppies a lot and just do a straight stem, and I might do that. If you're looking at them from the side, you can just kind of do it like that. Don't bother about showing the back, just then have the stem coming down. You see how simple they are? And then that's sort of upright from the side, and then sideways on you would have the stem coming out the back like that, and then the flower sort of like that. And then the buds, I just do the buds in kind of simplified fashion like that, and I put one colour on this side and then another colour on that side, and then let that blend and then draw in the stem. So I hope that that's going to help and that that's going to work when we get started. Oh yes, butterflies. I'll do butterflies soon. We'll be doing some butterflies at some point soon. Okay, so now I need a pencil. Let's go for a 3B, I think, something soft. And I think I'm going to sit down. I'll use my yesterday's painting as my reference. And I'm going to draw the petals really, really loosely, just as an indication of where the flowers, the petals are going to be, because the paint will obviously have a mind of its own. And the biggest one sort of in the middle. So we've got one front on here, then a couple sort of sideways. This one you can't see the centre, and this one can't see the centre either. And then I'm going to put the stems in. Some buds, make them different sizes. Okay, and I'm going to use a reasonably big brush to put these flowers in. This is a number 11 round. And I'm painting wet on dry, and I'm just kind of using the side of the brush, and just leave a little bit of space in the middle for where you're going to put the black part. I think it's really quite a good idea to use the side of the brush for these petals. So I've just got them roughed in there, and you can do lots of different things to make these petals more random. And one thing that's very simple that you can do is just drop in more water. Just drop droplets of water in and let that bleed and move around a bit. And then the other thing you can do is you could pick up some slightly darker red, perhaps mix a bit of quinacridone with it, and then just drop some of that in places and just let it move. You get some interesting back runs and things. And try not to control it too much, and try not to fiddle. And put a bit more water in here. And then after having let that move around a little bit, what I quite like to do is to get a piece of kitchen towel. And then I quite like, on the ones that are facing, to just randomly press scrunched up paper towel into the colour that I've already laid in. Just 1 or 2 presses, and that sort of gives a more papery look to the painting. I suppose that's because you're pressing into it with paper. So then you do that, and then you're going to think about a slightly smaller brush, a 7 or something like that, and pick up some black, and then just dance with the point of the brush into the centre of the ones that are facing you, and allow it to touch the wet red parts a little bit, but not too much, and leave a bit of white. And then the ones that are sideways on, you can just put a little bit of black at the bottom like that. Just make sure it's bleeding a little bit, but not too much. And then for the flowers, for the buds, we can put a little bit of green, just 1 stroke. There's lots of different ways to do this. Just try and keep it free and expressive, and then you might want to put a little bit of red as well. And then one thing I quite like to do with these is I just pick up some of the colour and then just drag it down. This is one of those times when I actually do hold the brush fairly close to the ferrule. If you want a more sort of stylish and less realistic, not that this is very realistic, look, you can just do the buds in grey or black. And then Hooker's green mixed with quinacridone gold will give us a stem colour for the flowers. Now I'm going to add some more red, the same red, to the petals. Oops. And then I have got here a pencil, which is a watercolour pencil. This is a Staedtler Charisma Karat Aquarelle, which is a watercolour black, and it works very well working wet into wet to give things like stamens and so on when you want to just give some character to your center of your flower. And you just you're dragging out some of the black that you put there, and you're also adding character with the pencil. And you can also outline a little bit to give it a bit more shape. It looks quite good. As you use this pencil, don't use it like an ordinary pencil. Give it some twists and turns to make it really random. And don't try to follow the edge of the painting exactly, just keep away from the edge of the paint some places, and other places kind of just show the petals like that. Whatever you think looks good. You can use it on the buds as well, and you can use your pencil to emphasize your stem, give it a shadow side. As this dries, you might want to add even more red. Where it's darker, you go darker. Don't touch the light bits so that you've got plenty of light and shade. Of course, when it's dry, it'll look different. But you do want a fair amount of colour on there. Having got to this point, I think we'll now just do some spatter. So I'm going to grab a toothbrush, just an old toothbrush. And first of all, we will do some red spatter. And pick up a little bit of that, just spray it on up here, down there, a little bit here, a little bit everywhere. Don't have to do this bit if you don't like spatter. And then we can put some black. And then just to give it a bit more fun texture, if I can find my rigger, must be here, it's always here because I use it a lot. There it is. We'll pick up some black, maybe with a little bit of green mixed in. So it's a dark green, and then just tap like that. Then perhaps with this green we might add a few more dark dashes. Perhaps. Okay, having got to that point, it's time to let it dry. So there's the final painting. I haven't done much to it apart from let it dry. I hope you give this a try. It's very easy, just one shade of red and black, quinacridone gold or any other yellow, and any green. And I've put the sketch of these poppies up on the website at dianeantone.com, which you can download for free, no charge for that. And there are other things over there as well that you might be interested in. Plus, of course, there's our tip jar, which is for people who would like to support the channel so that we can carry on making these videos, which I hope you're enjoying. And also we have channel membership here on YouTube too, where for a very small charge each month you can just support us, and in return you get lots of interesting little perks and free gifts from time to time, monthly actually. So please subscribe at least, turn on notifications, consider joining the channel, and go and visit me at my blog on the website dianeantone.com. So message delivered. I hope it's received in the spirit which it's intended, which is to help you on your art journey and to bring a little bit of peace into your life. So have fun with this one. Share it on the Facebook group if you feel that way inclined, and drop me a message in the comments below so that I can answer you if you have any questions and join in with conversations and so on and so forth. So look forward to hearing from you all. Keep well, everybody. Take care. Enjoy your painting, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now. Bye, everybody.